I think this one that I'm holding is a little bit older than the one that you have. There's probably 4 or 5 different generations of these. And to me, I like it when they're not round. So you can see where they lifted it up and you can actually hold it. And the same thing when they're pulling it off the wheel and it nestles in your hand right there. And so it has that memory of somebody lifting it up. This one's quite chunky. It's like quite thick, and then you can see it over time. They kind of lose attention to detail over time. And if you compare, like say this one to a brand new one, you know, the flower detail or the tree detail. So this one is a little bit newer. So this is what they look like now. Kind of sad, maybe 60 plus years ago, and this one is from 20 or less years ago. But also, you can see that this one is cast. And this one is thrown. This one is kind of more round, and this one is sort of funny. This is quite a different Jankai inside one. This one is cobalt, but still hand painted. Oh, look at this one. It's really quite bubbly. So sometimes I think a lot of the stuff that if it didn't make the cut, they would throw it in like a pile, like a trash pile out of the ceramic. And then this one would have been probably just discarded because it has fire and cracks and a lot of imperfections. These are all from different factories, I think, different time periods. This one looks like the old ones, right? They'll have some kind of sea creatures that are stuck to them, some kind of coral or something like that. But this one's just sort of been stuck with glue or something like that. So it looks ancient, but it's not. This one in the past, they used to fire by stacking them, and they fire them all together. And so you can see all of these, they have little missing glaze sections. You can also see here that they have the lines from being hand thrown. This one, for example, is probably Meiji, and it's rice paper decals. So you can kind of see this one is applied with the old primitive style decal. This is actually a way of transferring the paint. But then these lines that are banding lines are done by hand. And then with these, you can see kind of where they push down the brush is dark, and then they spun it around, and then where it overlapped, it's darker. And then you can see this is a later generation where it's an applied decal. This is supposed to be English, but I think the mark here means it's made in Japan. But this one is a more recent decal, and it's quite fine. But even this one, you can see the little printing mark. It's a screen decal. I just bought this one, and if you listen, the noise of it, that means that it fired okay. This one has a crack, and it has this kind of like hollow sound. All 3 of the handles are still intact, and it's like nice ornamentation. This is, I think, with a kind of slip cast, so they're actually like dabbing it on there somehow. In Japan, they call this a tamoku glaze, but I'm not really sure what it's called in Thailand. But a nice brown glaze. It's nice. It's super heavy though.